Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, welcome. I'm really sorry for the delay. We actually had some technical issues to get everything right, and I hope that right now everything is going to work as well as it can. And let's just like I will skip all the introductions because actually we have launched and the first game is already been showing. So I will tell you more about what we're doing here, what the FYNG Show is all about, but let's jump into the first game that's being showcased, and that is Chronicles Medieval. The thing is, the show that we're hosting is in German, so I mean, the original show is in German, so I will be actually giving you all the information that are happening right there on stream in English, just to so that you have all the info that you need. And I do not necessarily speak very fluent German, but I'm prepared to give you everything. So, right now, what you're seeing on screen is Chronicles Medieval. This is a game that a studio called Raw Power Games is working on. Some people would say it's just a little bit like Mount and Blade, others would maybe call it a little bit of Total War, and that comes specifically from the fact that in the game, when you see the battle map, you don't only play as a soldier, you don't only play as this lone hero who you're using on the political map as well, but you're also the commander of the army. As you can see, we have some a knight on stage, and I think his squire or his maiden. I don't know what the plan was, but. Yeah, the game, actually we got a chance to see a pre-briefing of everything, and what you get in Chronicles Medieval is basically three factions, and that's England, France, and Holy Roman Empire. It's contrary to Mount and Blade, it's set in realistic medieval Europe around 1313. The map area is actually consisting of British Isles, France, and Germany, and there's a one cool thing that I really liked about how everything works in Chronicles Medieval. So when you're playing, compared to Mount and Blade, sorry, I will be comparing it to Mount and Blade. So when you play in Mount and Blade, you basically see the whole map. You see all the bandit activities, you see everything that's happening everywhere all at once. But what you don't get in this game is actually that. You might see the land masses that you've previously explored. If you haven't been there, you just see a rough sketch of a map. But if you actually want to get the intelligence of what's happening out there in the further lands that you've been to before, you can, for example, gather tavern rumors, and through that you get all the information. You can plan your moves, and it plays so similarly to Mount and Blade. I gotta say, I know it's hard to make that comparison time and time again. I mean, it might get boring, but to be fair, all the gameplay quirks of that are there. So, for example, when you're not moving the player, you actually pause the time. The whole map is divided into 209 regions, and every region has a castle and a main settlement, and if you want to or if you take control of the whole thing, you can become, for example, the Lord of Sussex, if you would like to do so. So right now on stage, we actually have the developers with us. The Knight in the full armor is one of the developers, so it's a lot of commitment, I would say. Reminds me of Sven Vinke from Larian Studios. I'm actually gonna pop on camera for a second because I want to say hello to everyone watching. Guys, since this setup is pretty crazy, I will be looking at my phone because that's where I'll have my live stream and your comments. So, I want to stay in touch with you. I want to see everything. And here on screen now we have a Maurice, our dear friend and a host, and I will work on the audio overlap in just a second, but here you have a trailer for Tropico 7 with some good news coming in the end.
My beloved Tropico. Small island, simple people, unlimited potential.
I want to see everything. And here on screen now...
I'm touched that you followed my suggestion. This is the second happiest day of my life, right after our first meeting.
citizens, is a delicate dance. And luckily, I lead. Some leaders study history. Others learn leadership by holding the wheel with mixed results. Political factions, such passion. A decree for you, a promise for you, a prison for you. Council meetings are very important, and so is ignoring them at just the right moment. Today, I am the governor. Tomorrow, Presidente. They call it chaos. I call it opportunity.
Okay, and here we have a release date for Tropico 7, which is coming in January 28th. I noted your message, Roadhog. I tried to mix the sound a little bit better, so if it's still a little bit too loud, overlapping a little bit with what's happening on stage, please let me know, and I will try to fix that. But oh, we got some teasers on the screens, which the hosts seem to be surprised to be seeing as well. Well, we'll have to wait and see, I guess. Yeah, let's proceed with the show. AK and Maurice will keep going, but now, actually, the thing that AK is introducing right now is Indie Awards, and Indie Awards are the thing that are happening connected, like in cooperation with Indie Arena booth at Gamescom. And at Gamescom, you can see many great games from indie developers from all around the world. And GameStar for years has been championing the Indie Awards for the indies. And I see your message, Roadhog, and I will drop the sound just a little bit more. And the thing is, this year they decided to do something a little bit different. So throughout the whole show today, we will show you, apart from all the announcements, we will show you 8 games that have been selected by the GameStar team for various reasons that they liked, that they were impressed by. And they want they want to let you vote on your favorite game. So there will be a battle of indies, and you will be able to vote on the best game here there. And let's hear that message.
Deadroot is a barbaric medieval action adventure set in a bug-sized world of underground dungeons and towering ruins. Splatter bug guts and slay colossal bosses as Kit, a lone snail warrior who must draw his sword against overwhelming odds. Cut through hordes, time your blocks and dodges, or drop a well-placed bomb. In Deadroot, you'll need your combat abilities to traverse the world and solve puzzles. Progress further than any bug has gone, and learn that worse things wait deeper down. Foes are bigger, meaner, and out for blood. Every swing carries power and momentum in this ruthless, fast-paced combat experience. Impale the hardiest creatures and finish them off with bloody executions. All the fun, none of the cleanup. If you're at Gamescom, come visit our Indie Arena booth. Prizes await the champions who play the Deadroot demo. See you there.
Okay, so we have Deadroot, which is a game in which you play as a snail, and which is basically like in a 3D Metroidvania world. I mean, fighting as a snail sounds a bit, well, interesting, I guess. So indeed, if you are at Gamescom, or if you have a chance to be at Gamescom throughout the rest of the show, I mean the fair, then you're welcome to go to the Indie Arena booth and see for yourself. But for now, we have a trailer for Professional Ship Simulator. Let's take a look. Hey, so we have a early access date for Professional Ship Simulator, which is going to be in September. Now, I know there's a lot of fans of ship sims out there. I mean, oh, okay, not everyone is a huge fan of simulators, but for all the people who look for realistic gaming experiences like that, SWE Systems is actually making a ship simulator that is, well, very realistic. But for now, what we have for you is the gameplay premiere of announced yesterday Tare the Unbound. So let me show you what we have here.
대재앙 이후 세간에는 한 소문이 떠돌았습니다. 대귀도에 흩어진 네 개의 근원을 모으면 세상을 원래대로 되돌릴 수 있다는.
간신히 살아남았건만 차라리 그래 같이 죽는 게 나았겠어.
대재앙 그리고 대귀도라는 뒤엉킨 섬의 탄생. 이 모든 사건의 배후에 존재하는 이가 있습니다. 그의 이름은 아물지 못한 자 아가사입니다.
Now, this is interesting because the game was announced yesterday during opening night live, and it's been very cool, I think, very cool looking, but not a lot of information was revealed. So today we can actually show you a little bit of gameplay from Tare the Unbound, and basically it's a game that's aiming for release in 2027. And it's a dark fantasy action RPG set in the Eastern dark fantasy world, inspired by the Buddhist cosmology of the six realms of rebirth. That's what I have in my notes, and that sounds cool, I guess. I think like something very interesting is happening on stage, but I think I will just keep giving you information about the game, even though we have Jesse Roggs joining us on stage for Tare. Anyways, if you look at the gameplay of Tare the Unbound, this is actually very reminiscent of one other big game that you might have heard of, which is Path of Exile. Path of Exile 2 that I've actually had a chance to play the Duelist today, but I don't know if I can talk much about it. I think I can. Anyways, Tare the Unbound is giving you 6 classes to play with. We actually have a Samurai, a Tiger Hunter, a War Fiend, a Kunoichi, Geomancer, and a Mansion, if I have this written down as I should. The game will offer a huge potential for build crafting. As you can see on the screen right now, it might not be the size of the skill tree you have in Path of Exile, but see, it's getting deeper. The skill mastery is even getting more intricate as it is, and like it's getting crazy. So there's over 80 unique bosses in this game that all have their own moveset, and they're obviously inspired by the Eastern myths, by the Eastern culture, and if you want to succeed, you just gotta master the pattern-driven combat. And I don't know, it looks pretty cool. I've been getting myself into Path of Exile 2 lately. I have a friend who actually kind of mentored me throughout this whole thing. So shout out to David. Yeah, I think this looks actually pretty amazing. The eastern part of the world is attempting to, get into the, let's say, international waters of gaming a little bit more. They're experimenting with more and more genres, and I think, I don't know, Tare the Unbound looks just something like I want to try. So if you wanna try it, you'll be able to do this actually next year. The developer is called Boundary, and damn, I just, I'm happy we can show you the gameplay for this game, because the trailer yesterday was very like very general. It showed the vibe, the theme, a little bit of what it's about. But if you really want to make it stick, you gotta see the gameplay. So I hope the developers at some point will get us to really test this game and balancing was always the issue with games like that. Um, this is actually something that I've been talking to Jonathan Rogers today about balancing the classes, about finding the perfect sweet spot for the players, which is make it fun, make it breakable. I mean, the best fun that you can have in games like these when you can craft a build that is outrageously good, but at the same time, you can't really go completely over the top and allow for single click clearing the whole map. So let's see how Tare will be doing. I'm really looking forward to seeing more. And who knows, maybe in a year or two, or like two, we will be talking about a huge clash of titans between Tare and Path of Exile. My fingers crossed for Boundary, for sure. And we'll see. We'll see. I see some The Expanse fans in the chat. Don't worry, we have that coming for you today. The show is going to be roughly 2 hours, so it's a lot of stuff we need to go through. And I think I can say this because it was mentioned in the pre-show. Today, we have 7 world premieres for you, which is crazy for us because this show has been running for like 3 years and it's done exclusively in German, as you can see. That's why I'm doing an English commentary, because we feel like this is the right moment to actually get it out to you. And GameStar is a huge medium in Germany, so they have a awesome stage this year. I mean, pretty cool stuff. Anyways, I don't know what Maurice is like lingering on there. We need to get it moving. Like, we have so many games to show you. So how about a premiere of the new updates coming to Corsair Cove, which is a game that we announced in April.
Thousands of pirates have already set sail and started their own pirate empires in Corsair Cove. And thanks to you, our incredible community, the adventure continues to grow. Your feedback has already shaped the game from day one. Together, we've added new ways to make every pirate's adventure feel more personal and your empires more manageable, with the ability to name your ships and your pirate camps, multiple fixes across resource deposits, improvements to the placements and UI systems, not to mention bugs and crash fixes. But we're not stopping there. With the Armada update, more improvements and new adventures are already on the horizon, from dynamic visuals across all 7 seas events to improved experiences with event rewards, the ability to directly control your ships as they navigate across the seas, and an entirely new event at Proclamation, the Crown's Armada Attack. But every pirate knows the greatest treasures are the ones still waiting to be discovered. This is only the beginning, so join us on this adventure and start your own pirate empire in Corsair Cove.
Okay, we have Corsair Cove, and to be fair, this is actually something that's really really important to us, because we announced this game at FYNG Show Cactus in April. So it's really cool to see the game thrive, because they did release recently. But hey, we have a new game. Let's keep looking at this, because it's a world premiere.
And rot and ruin were cast from vicious mold, when witches were not as wicked as is said, and had a sweet magic to defy the dread. A witchcraft to shatter the vermin to their bones, wrought in pastries, cakes, and scones. The tales don't tell it, they weren't written till later. But once upon a time, there was a spell baker.
War gerade nur überrascht, dass ich
Rise
Headphones habe.
of the Spellbaker, which is another world premiere that we have for you. I know you haven't seen much. It's an animated trailer, but now we still have a lot of information that we can actually share with you. So, Rise of the Spellbaker comes from Realm Forge Studios, which is a studio that you might actually know from the Dungeons series. And Rise of the Spellbaker is kind of giving you those cozy vibes, I guess. I mean, it's about baking spells, and you play as a witch, so it kind of makes sense. But this comes with a twist because you need to defeat the mastermind behind the mysterious rot, and you're one of the very few survivors. You might even be the only survivors, unless you decide to play in co-op, and you're not the only one. So you have combat, you have exploration, you have building, and obviously the spell baking. The spell baking mechanic is actually something that allows you to create new spells, but also variations of spells that you already have. So I have this awesome example here. I mean, awesome for me, kind of cool, where if you make a croissant spell, which is crazy, you can, for example, deal big amount of damage with a single croissant. But if you change the spell to a different variety, you can throw 3 of them and they deal less damage, but theoretically they have a broader range. So it's a twisted idea to have a spell game connected with baking, but I guess games can do everything, right? There are 4 elements in this game. Obviously, the classics, which is the water, air, earth, and fire, so you'll be combining spells connected to all of those. And the witch that I mentioned serves as a protagonist. The witch actually has a cat familiar, so you will have a companion who actually possesses a set of skills and will be able to assist you, aid you in your adventures. What else can I say? I can tell you that this game is playable in, let's call it, well, single player, but you can play it in co-op mode with up to 5 other players. The game will offer cross-platform, yes, cross-platform gameplay possibilities, so obviously it's coming to more than just PC. And yeah, there will be an element in this game of actually rebuilding the coven. So if you feel like getting, you know, your Agatha vibes on, I mean, okay, I think it was more twisted than that in Agatha all along. But if you feel like, you know, having your own coven of witches, Rise of the Spellbaker might be the game to do it. And we will see. We don't have a gameplay to show you yet. We only have screenshots, but it gives you the idea, like the general idea of what the gameplay will be like. I mean, what the art style of the game will be like. So it is a kind of cozy game. And AK is a huge champion of cozy games at GameStar, so like, you know, it had to be there. And yeah, we will see. See, now they're talking about the Witch Coven, which a Witch Coven which allows you to. Sorry for the. I mean, it's only probably funny for me. But yeah, you can rebuild your coven with your friends, and I think there was something about rebuilding a village here. I'm sorry, I'm looking at my notes because I don't want to miss anything that is important for this. But yeah, there was something about this here. Hey, we have GameStar in chat. Hello, GameStar people. It's nice to see you there. And also to every person who's watching us, whether that's on Find Your Next Game channel, on Twitch of Gamescom, or on YouTube of Gamescom, or even on Steam, which is crazy that we have you on Steam as well. But if you would like to, you know, get in touch directly with me, I am looking at chat on Find Your Next Game channel, so, you know, if you have a comment you would like to share, hop in here and we will chat. Now, let's see what else we have, because it's another gameplay premiere.
An old
alternate history of feudal Japan, where yokai mythology collides with steampunk machinery. In a story-driven, turn-based, tactical RPG. Lead unlikely allies into a war that will change them forever. Fight side by side. Forge lasting bonds. And unlock powerful synergies in battle. Guide every companion's path. And develop their own unique fighting style. Manipulate the flow of battle. Rush your allies. Stall your foes. Master powerful abilities. Turn the battlefield into a weapon. And awaken the power within. And when the shadows rise, your road begins.
Hey, so we have
So, ihr habt
Shadow
vielleicht
of the
gesehen, wir
Road
haben ein
coming
Release-Datum
with
für Shadow
new
of the
trailer.
Road und das ist
And
schon ganz schön bald.
oh, sorry, I gotta get this down a little bit. And Shadow of the Road has a November 12th release date. It's a tactical turn-based RPG set in 1868 Japan. It's a blend of tradition, yokai magic, and steampunk. It's a story about a civil war. Obviously, your choices shape the plot and character relationships. As you've seen, there is a demo available on Steam right now, so you can take a look at that if you would like to. It comes from Another Angle Games, and it's pretty cool. And now AK is bringing us back to the Indie Awards with another game that is called, I don't know if she said it already, but it is called A Glass House. So let's see. Because now she's telling you all the details about the voting in Indie Awards, but I'm already ahead, AK. Let's go.
We are Flat 28 Collective. For the past 4 years, we have been developing Glasshouse remotely, entirely in our spare time, and without any kind of external funding. Glasshouse is a story-rich, turn-based CRPG, a psychopolitical thriller set in a feudal punk world on the brink of a global war. The fiefdom of Londonstock is under lockdown, and nobody can leave their houses. And then, a triple murder shatters the quiet of your apartment block. You play as Will Meyer, an ordinary condo chief, terminally ill, with just 1 year left to live. Trapped inside the crime scene, you must prove your innocence while uncovering a conspiracy involving espionage, political extremism, and the people you once called neighbors. What makes Glasshouse unique is that politics is gameplay. Through our political compass, you shape your ideology, unlock new abilities, and change the way you interact with the world and its people. Glasshouse is not about saving the world, it's about discovering who you become when the world starts falling apart.
Maurice, guck mal. Auf diesem Stick ist der
Okay, I get to get my audio a little bit better this time even. Oh my god, it's getting a bit darker. We have this shtick in the FYNG Show when we have finger puppets, but that gives me actually a chance to talk to you a little bit more about what's coming. And I see you, all the awesome people in the chat, waiting for the expanse, and I promise you, it's coming. It'll be in a show. Let me see, I'm scrolling through my notes, I'm scrolling, yeah, it's there, don't worry. It'll be worth it, I can promise you that. We have, can I say this? I don't know if I can say this. The hell, who will do anything to me if I say this? We will have a developer from Owlcat Games joining us for this one. So I hope you'll think it's worth it once we get there, but patience comes. Wait, there was a saying about patience. I don't even remember now. Anyhow, that was Glass House before, which is an isometric turn-based RPG. Set it's a post-apo feudal punk world at the dawn of a terrible world war. It feels a lot like Disco Elysium, right? I think so. It look. So
Zu lange. Willst du die
I
nächste
mean,
Weltpremiere
a
anmoderieren?
must play, I guess, for some. But yeah, the team from Flat Flame 8 will be having that. But now, our hosts, listen, I mean, it is getting dark here. All right, I gotta fix the camera for this one. But we will have a next work premiere coming to you very soon from a series that's been pretty long running. So let's check this one out.
Come on, come on. Nothing exciting ever happens around here.
Police Simulator. Your badge awaits. Wishlist now.
Na, was sagst Maurice?
Wir werden jetzt
So,
das ganze
I mean,
Gameplay über den
who expected another game with an animal? Hey, and I got a better lighting now. Made it happen. So, coming from Grip Studios is a game called Police Simulator, as you've seen, and there's a one big thing about it, and I will spoil it immediately because you've seen it in the trailer. There are canine shifts with a dog in this game. Can you pet the dog in police? I need to say police, not police. Can you pet a dog in Police Simulator? Yes, you can. You can do more. You can actually call the dog a good boy. And they will talk about it later, but I told you now because it's important. But yeah, Grip Studios is making this one. It's set in the fictional city called Fairmont City on the East Coast, of the United States. The game is done on Unreal Engine 5, and this time it actually brings you a character customization. So, you can be a bit more you. What actually got me a bit surprised when I attended a pre-briefing for this game is that you do have those like over 50, I think, various tasks and missions that you can do as a police officer and, make sure that people obey the law. And obviously they strive for realism. So all the things related to firearm usage are done according to escalation protocol. As you can see, you have a dog, which is the best thing ever. And the dog can sniff the crime scene to find a trail. And as you can see, they found a person related to that crime scene here. The dog can then chase the suspect. And it's not like you have the dog with you all the time. There are specific shifts during the gameplay time where you can do those with a dog. And apart from that, because I need to come back to this, with over the 50 types of tasks and things, I'm like, but how do I know if, for example, someone is parked incorrectly? Like, I know if someone basically parked on a passersby head, that is incorrect. You should not do that. But if somebody parked, like, I don't know, 2 meters away from the crosswalk instead of 5, I don't know if that's the case, sorry. Then you need to give them a ticket violation. But should you tow the vehicle? I don't know that. But the game will actually give you a manual that you can learn from. I cannot promise you that this will get you into police academy. Don't quote me on this one, but you can try. So, yeah. One thing I gotta say about this, just looking at the gameplay, is it does give a little bit of this unique kind of lighting that Unreal Engine provides. But I like it. It's not like the the copycat of a typical Unreal stuff. I like the highlights, or rather not highlights, the reflections in the puddles, which is always a cool thing. By the way, complete side note, and I'm sorry, but I got a chance to see the Witcher 3 demo today, and behind closed doors, they haven't showed it publicly. But after yesterday's announcements, the visuals, the lighting, what wonders can lighting do? And one thing that Unreal Engine does, and I'm coming to this, is that the lighting is generally improved, although it has to be executed right. But let's be honest, who plays Police Simulator for graphics? I don't. So come on. Anyways, yes, my dear people in the chat, Osiris Reborn is coming a little bit later. And I've seen the comment, patience is a virtue. That's it. I wanted to say that, but I'm lost for words. I'm not a native speaker of English, so you can hear. Anyways, Police Simulator is a world premiere number 3, I think. Three? 2? I don't know. But we have 7 in a show, which will be amazing. So, for those who wait, come the great stuff. And for now, we get to you, Stronghold 4.
But I will enjoy the chance to unleash my full potential. You have no idea what I'm capable of. And I'm just getting started.
Who is this raging brute that dares beseech the king?
If we don't act now, the townspeople are going to be slaughtered. You'll never catch the keen eye of mighty Sir Penryn lacking.
Sir Penryn, give me strength. I think this bag of wool has a better chance of becoming a knight than you.
The farm! It's gone! Let the fire take ye!
It's an invasion from another land, and they're moving fast across the kingdom already.
I can't wait around here knowing people could be getting hurt.
Let's start rebuilding what we lost.
We have to do something. Am I our leader or not?
We may need another ally if we're to oppose him.
Look at them scramble. There's nowhere to run.
There's so much death and destruction here already.
Is it about protecting your homeland, or is it all in pursuit of glory?
You were warned not to meddle in war. It's above your humble understanding.
Okay, so we don't have a specific release date for Stronghold 4 yet, but it is still coming in 2026, so I don't think it's been delayed. What you've seen is the story trailer for the game, and it tells the campaign will tell the story of Penryn of Wethel. If you have been following the Stronghold franchise, you might know this, but if not, Stronghold 4 is actually a prequel to the first Stronghold. Feels like Star Wars, doesn't it? Like you get 1 to 3, and then 4, like I mean in the release terms, and then 4 happens before the first one. I know it's, you know, the numbers are different, but it feels like Star Wars. Anyways, the good thing is we don't have only the story trailer for the game, but we actually have a tiny bit of the campaign to show you. What you see here, I believe, is the one of the campaign missions, and we only have a little bit today, but there will be a live stream happening on GameStar's channel on the Thursday, which is tomorrow, with a full gameplay of the campaign mission. I think they said something about half an hour of that. And I know not everyone speaks German, but if you'd just like to see the game in action, then on GameStar's website, and I think on their Twitch as well, you should see a whole schedule for tomorrow. You can just look up Stronghold 4, and if you're interested in the game, you can just hop in there tomorrow and you know, get the gist of what the campaign looks like actually when you play it as intended. And Heiko, the editor-in-chief from GameStar, who is on stage with Maurice right now. Well, you can't see him now. Or maybe he's hiding somewhere in that tower. I don't know. Yeah, he can probably give you all the cool information that I cannot, because I have played Stronghold, but I haven't played a lot of it. And I mean, I gotta catch up. I gotta be honest, I gotta catch up. But I have seen someone in the chat saying that they're waiting for a game that looks a bit like a Stronghold, and because that's a spoiler, and I expect who wrote that message, I cannot tell you the title of it yet, unless it's been announced somewhere, but I don't think so. So there will be one more thing related to this kind of Stronghold building gameplay idea that you have in Stronghold 4, and yeah. What more can I say? The campaign is going to be 22 missions long. How long it's going to be in our time? I don't know. It depends how good you are. For example, I'm not that good in games like these. Although, weird digression. E3 2018. I think it was definitive edition of Age of Empires 2. They had it set up in Xbox area, and in the US, not a lot of people played these kinds of games. So they had a very generous challenge to kill some number of units within a mission. And it was nice to be able to do that without preparation. I got lucky. Anyway, I'm completely digressing here. But yeah, Mache. I mean, I know Mache that it was announced before, but it wasn't announced to be part of the show, I think. So yeah, for all the fans of stronghold building, for all the fans of combat, for all the fans of basically historical settings and let's say quasi-realistic gameplay. I don't know if it's, you know, it's not always the perfect physics of I mean, not always trying to aim for the perfect physics of arrows or the super realistic types of gameplay, but I think it's pretty close. I mean, it should be in black and white, right? Because they didn't have color back in the day. Maybe. Anyways, Penryn, who wants to become a Sir, should come to you with a huge story campaign later this year. So hopefully you'll be enjoying that. And I had even more notes for that, but somehow they disappeared. So I keep talking out of my hat, not out of anything else, just to you know, accompany you during this visual presentation of Stronghold 4. And I'm losing words in my mind. I don't know what else can I say. What do you think? Like, you tell me in the chat, what do you think about Stronghold 4? Are you looking forward to it? Are you excited? Look, in the objective, like in the text chat, we have the Scribe, we have Sir Longarm, we have the Toad. Who do you think the Toad is? I don't know him. Never heard of him. Yeah, Starlight Gem, it was a hat for sure. Nothing else that I can say publicly on live stream that's happening all over the internet right now. But you see, the segment for Stronghold 4 is so long because they're so excited about this game. This is what GameStar does. They actually choose the FYNG Show by, like, they tailor it by getting the games that are exciting for them. And this year, I think we had over 100 submissions from different developers, from different games, to be a part of the show, even though, like I mentioned, it's done in German. So I'm really, really happy to see where this is going and, you know, to bring you the English commentary. But now, let's keep going. Dwarf Fortress time.
Since we started work on our Fantasy World simulator over 20 years ago, we've wanted to make real fantasy settings, generate them from the bottom up. In a fantasy setting, this means magic, a different reality. Procedural magic systems that go beyond combining spell effects and go straight to the fundamental cosmological makeup of the universe. This allows magical situations that you cannot get any other way. It allows your fortresses to pursue magical research that really feels like discovery. It's a huge project, one that's been in the work for many years, And now, the first Magic release for Dwarf Fortress will begin to bring this promise to life. Now, there will be magic effects that blow things up. There will also be magic materials, enchantments, rituals, ancient ruins, everything that makes fantasy what it is, with every piece tied into how that particular universe works down to its bones. Look forward to the release later this year.
Habt ihr den
Okay, and we have Dwarf Fortress. Now, I gotta say, this is interesting, but not for the reasons you might expect. I mean, for me personally, Dwarf Fortress actually came out in 2006, but the original Dwarf Fortress, I call it a no graphics kind of game, but so many people played it, so many people loved it. In 2022, there was an updated version that had a bit more graphics, and I think it's a separate project from the original Dwarf Fortress. They go together, and this time it gets magic, as you've heard, so that was cool. And now we have another indie award that's called Scapheim, the 10th Realm. Let me shut up, let the guy do the talking.
Lieben ruhige, kreative City Builders, andere verlieren sich gern in anspruchsvollen Roguelikes. Mit Scapheim wollen wir genau diese beiden Seiten zusammenbringen. Er baut eure Siedlung auf einem Hexraster auf und kombiniert Landschaften, Gebäude und Obelisken. Außerdem erfüllt ihr zufällig generierte Quests und schaltet dadurch dauerhafte Upgrades frei. Am Anfang fühlt sich alles ruhig und entspannt an. Doch mit jeder Platzierung entstehen neue Synergien.
Oh no, I'm sorry, but I just heard, sorry, I turned my brain off for a second, and I've heard that it's not in English. So I'm like, okay, I gotta talk. So I can tell you about Scapheim, the 10th Realm, that it's a roguelike city-building puzzle game that is played on a hex grid. And, you place terrain, buildings, nature, or strange obelisks, and you build a settlement that changes with every run. Where is my camera? It's here. Every tile actually matters. A simple house, road, river, or a forest can become, much more valuable when you place it in the right spot. And that looked cool, but now we have another world premiere. We gotta do this. This one is called... I'll tell you later.
Unwanted, cast out from the very place that should have been home. Oh, Lena, child of this dying forest, born from what they tried to bury. But pieces can be gathered. A body can be remade. Now Learwood calls, and deep within the dark, power waits. Will you claim what they denied you, or heal what they destroyed?
Hey, we have a new game for you, and it's called Cutout. And there was a bit in the previous game where the dude was not speaking English, and that's why I panicked a little bit. But I gotta tell you about Cutout. Cutout is actually a project from the developer called 906 Games, and it reminds me a lot of Limbo. You might have heard of this one. It was pretty successful, pretty great at the same time. And in this game, you play as Lena. She's the last child born from the heart of a dying forest, but this world is where everyone is born from paper, and the whole game combines 2D and 3D elements to create a world that kind of looks like it's assembled from cardboard, paper, like threads, and like other household items. Things like screws that you find can be used as weapons. If you find matches, they can become tactical tools as well. But what this game has that is extremely unique, I feel, is its combat system, in which, it's a connected to combat system. You can cut off limbs of enemies and attach them to yourself, and that actually changes Lena's core abilities. It changes her movements, changes her combat options, and you know, it's like, what the hell? Now, the another bonus thing here is that enemies can do the same to you. So they can cut off your limbs that you have attached somewhere along, and their behavior, their options apparently can change, which is like, um, oh man, sorry, I just saw the message from Why So Agatha. Um, and yeah, sorry, you totally distracted me. So yeah, the enemies can do the same to you, so that they can cut out your limbs and they can attach them to themselves. And combat is more like about timing, positioning, dodging, and you can use combos and all different styles. But it also is the game has a story, so those decisions will shape Lena's relationships and how the story will progress. And yeah, that's the thing. Cutout looks great, and I literally cannot wait to play it. Limbo is something that I really truly loved. Same as Inside. So Cutout looks just as a game that I would love to play. But let's keep going. It's another world premiere, and hey, it is Bergfried that I mentioned before. Kind of like Stronghold, but not exactly. Oh, and I actually need to speak before, because it doesn't have a voiceover. It's not a full trailer. It has a B-roll. So Bergfried is done by Quid Pro Games, which is actually apparently a solo German developer. And I don't want to say it because the connotation is usually not nice, but I mean it in a nice way. So I'm sorry if I sound bad. It's not meant like that. But I had this vibe of like, we have Stronghold at home, and if you're a solo dev and you're able to, like, you can be compared to a established franchise like Stronghold, I really mean it as a compliment. So what you do here is not placing a stronghold, but a great hall. And it is very important where you place it, because it means that, you know, how well you can defend it. If you put it somewhere higher, maybe somewhere further away, it might be better for your defense, but then it might be an issue with trading. I mean, how far are the paths for you to get your resources? So that is tricky. You need to find a good balance. The game has basic supplies of wood and food, so that's the things you'll be working with. But as you can see up top, there's icons for more stuff that you'll be able to gather. I think it's stone, probably iron, and obviously you make money. The thing is, contrary to, or maybe in comparison to Stronghold, you can actually build in a 12-way grid. So it's a bit more advanced, apparently, like 12 different directions, which is cool. There's events in this game, like market days, where like during those days you can make more profit with merchants that you have, or there might be bandit raids during which you have to defend the Great Hall. So there is combat obviously in there. And I don't want to talk about the combat system before they show it, because it's going to be there. But see, the towers has already been placed, so I think we're getting close to getting combat. Yes, he's building archers and some spearmen, so we do have units that will be useful for combat. And yeah, keep going, Maurice. Keep going, Maurice, because I want to talk about the combat system. I want to talk about battlements. I mean, okay, one thing I can say actually. So combat system is built around this idea of basically rock paper scissors, which is archers, cavalry, and spearmen. If you've ever played any kinds of games like RTS games, whatever, that use these kinds of units, you know how that works. Like cavalry is going to be good for archers in this case, but not necessarily for spearmen, etc., etc. So Bergfried is coming. The data is not here yet, but obviously there are things like battlements that you have and towers. They provide cover from incoming fire from other archers, like enemy archers. But the height advantage actually boosts your damage and accuracy of archers, which is one, theoretically it's very obvious, but at the same time, you know, not everyone does it. So I'm really, really curious to see. And indeed, I see a mention in the chat that it might think of Manor Lords a little bit. So that I think is a good compliment as well. Yeah. Don't worry, OG Baxter. I totally get you. I'm not like super proficient at these types of games, so don't worry. No ignorance here. No different thing. Oh, hey, sorry. Another world premiere. I'm shutting up. Beowulf. It is indeed, as I see in the chat, that it looks a bit like inspired by Hades. And I think this comparison is absolutely legit in terms of its visual art style. But gameplay is actually a little bit different. By the way, Baxter, shout out to Wisconsin in that case. Beowulf comes from the developer called Milky Tea, and the gimmick of this game is that you actually have three forms that you can use in this game, which is a werewolf form, a vampire form, and an elf form. And it's not classes, so it's not like you commit to one of those things. You actually can switch between those forms, and they each have different kinds of abilities. So it is like more like a hack and slash meets Hades, indeed, because you cannot say it doesn't look like Hades. Devs, of course, say that it is easy to pick up, but it's hard to master. And in early 2027, we will be able to find out more, maybe play it. I mean, I'm curious. I love Hades, and if this is like half as enjoyable as Hades is, I will play it for sure. So, yeah. What do you think? I see 2 thingies out of 5. Let's give it more, Agatha. Yeah, I agree, Canon, that it's nice that you have these options, especially if the gimmick is, to have this power fantasy and being super cool with various forms and various abilities that they offer. It's not a typical class in Diablo or whatever. But now, oh my God, do you see? We have Final Fantasy VII Revelation, and we have the game director with us. Naoki Hamaguchi is joining us on stage.
Okay, so ich spreche jetzt Deutsch und Englisch, damit das alles klappt. Und ihr wisst es natürlich, er ist der Game Director von Final Fantasy.
Don't worry, there will be English in this, so I'm shutting up here.
I have a couple of questions for you.
No problem.
Okay, so Final Fantasy has been translated in so many languages. How is it to hear it in so many different ones?
Yeah, I'm glad you guys like it.
結構こうイベントとかでグローバルにいろんなこうそれこそ欧州もそうですし北米とかもこうアジアとかもですけどまずこのファイナルファンタジーとかファイナルファンタジー7がすごいこうグローバルでこう支持されてるっていうのはまずすごくまず嬉しい気持ちが強くあります。
No, so I go around a lot of gaming events all around the world, both in Asia, here in Europe, and various places. So I'm really glad, really happy to see how global Final Fantasy and Final Fantasy VII has become now.
Wo wir gerade von Global sprechen, wir haben auch direkt einen Clip dafür. Wollen wir den mal ganz kurz anschauen? Just a short clip to show all the languages.
あ、はい、ぜひ。
Sie wirkt wütend. Wütend und traurig.
Komisch. Was will sie denn ausgerechnet hier?
we're non-German speakers, hearing German in video games is always exciting for me. Sometimes it works, and for Final Fantasy VII, apparently it works.
そうですね。ここのために今回初映像を持ってきました。
Yeah, we brought this world first look of this video just for you guys here today.
ありがとうございます。So,
yeah. So I mean, like I've been saying, it's nice to be able to show you various things, and Final Fantasy VII is a nice thing, right?
既存のキャストも表現されないような部分をどういうふうに考えてほしいでしょうか。
I know it's sometimes difficult that when you have a translator, especially when we're going three-way right now, because it's also in German in parts, it gets crazy. But luckily, you can look at some of the trailer shots from Final Fantasy VII Revelations, which is obviously the third part of a remake of Final Fantasy VII. But I'm sure you know this. You know your gaming.
どう広げるかっていう方の方がまずこうを注意しています。
Yeah, so what we took care on was not so much thinking how do we avoid getting all of the existing cast to be pushed to the side. We really focused on how we expand the stories of the new characters, so Vincent and Sid.
特にヴィンセントに関しては原作だとこう直接パーティーに入るというよりかは任意のキャラクターだったんで、よりそこを彼のこうキャラクター性とか世界観設定をより広げるっていうところは今回のリベレーションですごくこう作り込まれているので、特にヴィンセントのファンの方すごく多いんですけど、すごい皆さんに喜ばれるような内容になっていると思います。
I mean, especially Vincent Valentine. In the original game, he was only an optional character. You didn't have to have him in your party. So that was one thing that the team really focused on and put a lot of effort and time and effort into, is making sure that his story was fleshed out properly. And I know there's a lot of Vincent Valentine fans out there, and you're all going to have a really great time seeing Vincent Valentine's real story.
On behalf of all the Vincent Valentine fans, I thank you. So I have a couple of more questions for you. And so in Revelation, is there anything that you couldn't realize in the original Final Fantasy before because of some technical limitations and that you can do now?
I won't return to my coffin until we've put Sephiroth in peace.
原作ってこと？
The original Final Fantasy VII.
Yes.
そうです。多分でもオリジナルのファイナルファンタジーとその今ってもうなんかこうエンタメのこうゲームの表現の幅が広すぎて、なんか当時実現できなかったものを技術でこうやるっていうよりかは、なんかその当時のそのストーリーとか世界観とか設定みたいなやつをいかにこう現代の表現に置き換えるかみたいなこう感じなので、なんかその当時できなかったことをしてやろうっていうよりかはっていうなんかこうあんまりそのこういうその感覚で作ってるっていうのはまずないなっていうのがあります。
No, that's very interesting, but I think the difference between what you can show and what you can create in a video game compared to the original Final Fantasy VII back in 1997 has changed so much now. That we weren't really approaching it from a perspective of what couldn't we do with the technology at the time that we can now do with modern technology. It was a lot more a case of how do we reimagine and represent all of the things that were in the original game with the new technology. So the way we looked at it and the approach was slightly different there.
あとは結構その当時1997年の時のこうゲームのエンターテインメントって何のこう規制もこう緩かったので。今だとそのまま原作のものを表現できないものとかはやっぱどう新しくこう再表現するかみたいなのはいつも悩みます。例えばすごい分かりやすいだと1作目のリメイクのミツバチの館とかってやっぱなかなかあのままの表現っていうのはこう今の時代にはできないんで、なんかこうむしろムーランルージュじゃないですけど、なんかエンターテインメントのショーみたいにすることでなんか同じエッセンスを取るとか、そういう結構ね当時ので表現できてたものができなくなったものをいかに今に合わせるかみたいなのは、やってて楽しいですけど、非常に気を使います。
I mean, in actual fact, there was kind of things the other way around. There were certainly a number of things when they made the original Final Fantasy VII back in 1997. Games weren't as restricted in terms of content and regulations, things that you could show, things that you couldn't show. So they were very free in what they put in the original game. I think a really good example of that is the Honeybee Inn from the original Final Fantasy VII, which was in Remake. Obviously, we couldn't really recreate that now with modern visuals, modern depictions in exactly the same way as it was. So we had to think, how do we reimagine that and reinterpret that for a modern audience, which is why we went for the more sort of like Moulin Rouge style of really entertainment, show business kind of thing. So it was great fun thinking about how we reimagine and we represent those kinds of things. Although it was very difficult and quite a challenge at the same time.
Hamaguchi-san, arigatou gozaimasu. Thank you very much for being here. It was an honor. Enjoy your gamescom and have a good night. Goodbye.
Amazing, guys. I mean, 2 years ago when we did our first FYNG show, we could have never dreamed of getting Final Fantasy VII Director on stage. But we did this year, and I'm super proud of the team that that we're going places. So also thank you everyone in the chat for sticking around. And now I know you guys are still waiting for the expanse, and I gotta tell you, we're closer, much closer to where it is. It's not there yet, but we're closer. Now for another Indie Awards, we have a message here, so let's hear it.
Crowded ist ein großes Citybilder mit Krähen.
And it's in German. See, I don't know these things, so now I gotta give you a glimpse into, oh my god, Crowded, a Crow City builder. Which sounds cool as hell. It's another animal in the stream today. It's not a dog this time, but it's about crows. So if you've ever heard of a game called Timberborn, where you had beavers, I believe. Yeah, it was beavers. This thing is about a crow city, or nest, or like a collection of nests. What is the name for collection of nests of crows? That's the question I'm leaving to you, chat. Crowded a crow city, well, basically, you gotta build a city to support and shelter your flock. You engineer, you scavenge, you explore, to have a like a self-sustaining society in the sky. And like I said, it is kind of like okay, and I'm back here on camera. It is kind of like Timberborn, but without flooding, and instead you need to be aware of winds. So yeah. Oh my God! Don't say murder. Don't say murder. I know it's a murder of crows, but that's the fun. But hey, world premiere. That's called Prospera. Let's take a look.
You want your cities to flourish. You raise industries because your dreams demand shape. You push forward to where possibility stretches beyond its limits. Yet every great city begins with a single stone. Place the first humble foundation. Shape every home, workshop, and street you carve into the untamed land. Prosperity will turn a quiet refuge into a vibrant city your people cherish. Broaden your horizons, automate your industries, and breathe life into every new ambition. Your vision, your people, your city. Prospera.
Prospera, chat. This is something that I think all the fans of city builders and fans of games like Anno, maybe Medieval Dynasty, that might like. We have Jakob Braun, the CEO of Active Fungus Studios, joining us on stage, but since they will be speaking German, I will give you all the information about the game that I can. And I have a little bit of that here too. So, first of all, Prospera is a open world city building game set in the 19th century kind of steam machine slash railroad setting. And there is very, very unique thing about it, because when you think of games like Anno or Medieval, well, more like Anno, city builders are usually done from the top, right? It's a bird's eye view, and you set up buildings, everything happens, and that's it. But this game actually gives you a third-person camera, a first-person camera, and there are moments during which you do have a top-down view just to place some buildings around. But otherwise, you have to build all the initial things yourself. So you'll be placing the most basic of buildings, then making sure they are actually set up. But if you go places and if you get better, you actually can delegate your work to other people. And in the end, you will be able to construct factories. You'll be able to have workshops combined in a way to create like a large industrial complex, for example. So what we can say here as well, I mentioned railroads, and this is going to be important. Railroads are used to kind of connect your city to well, what else they can be used for, right? But you have those transport networks, and you have to manage logistics to secure growth. Obviously, not everything is close by. You need to make sure that it works. This game does one thing a little bit different. Like, it wants to simplify user interface, not to be super spreadsheet-like. You know, some of the games are a bit overwhelming, I would say, because of how managing, like, how difficult the management is from a casual point of view. Like, I gotta admit, games like City Skylines got a bit overwhelming for me because there's too many options, too many things to consider, and I'm not good at those games. By the way, shout out to Lego Skylines announced yesterday. And in this game, it is a bit simplified just for you to focus more on just the growth of it all, but without compromising, you know, the depth of potential city builder. Now, citizens in this game obviously live and breathe. They react to their surroundings dynamically, and one of the gimmicks of Prospera, related to the name, is a prosperity system. And the prosperity system takes into account things like cleanliness, things like green areas that you might have in your city, or architecture. If you pay attention to those, to the aesthetics of it all, the growth of your city will actually improve. But if you have a lot of vermin, if you have a lot of pollution, if you think only about the industry, without taking care of the aesthetics, you actually slow down your progress. So you need to find a proper balance between those two. I think it's something that today's world struggles with. That's what I wanted to say. So yeah, Prospera has been an interesting choice for us for the show. Heiko, our editor-in-chief, got super excited when he saw this, and I think this concept of moving a city builder from a top-down view into this first-person camera and third-person camera is something else, especially that at first you might be building the singular things, but then it's growing, it's getting better, so it should be fun. And yes, my dear people in the chat, the Expanse is still coming. Yesterday we did not have the Expanse in the show. There was Exodus there, which is also pretty cool, coming from ex-Mass Effect developers. But yeah, this is Prospera, and we are not done yet with world premieres. And I think Maurice is getting ready to introduce something something new. Is he? There were those like teasers during the show. Something was happening. I don't know how they're going to do this, but see, so something's happening. I'm not sure. This is the thing.
Haben wir doch jetzt hier eine weitere Weltpremiere, sehe ich das richtig? Ich glaube schon. Ich glaube schon. Let's go.
Okay. Maurice says, let's go. I get that. I get what he's saying in German. Oh, come on. Something is happening on screen. Is this another world premiere? Is this another game that we're showing? I think we had some technical problems, but let's go. Now, will you guys believe me, especially Baxter, who was in the chat, that 3 more games and The Expanse is coming? If you believe me, stick around. If you don't, stick around as well. Anyways, Etre. The game is called Etre by Studio Lifeforms, and there will be highlights of the show going live after this. And the way I wrote it in the highlights, if someone gave you a cookie recently and you're afraid that there was something in it, then do not be afraid. Etre just has a very unique art style. It's actually inspired by 1970s and 1980s European science fiction graphic novels, so it has a very unique art style. And it's a single-player 3D action adventure game that is set in the deep future inside Orbis, which is a planet-scale alien mind on the brink of awakening. So, people asking in the chat, are we getting reborn? We're not, but Orbis is getting awakened apparently. So the game combines exploration, the feeling of discovery. It has environmental puzzles. It has combat. It has a very like a non-linear structure, so it is there to really reward the players who are curious to explore and to kind of drift away from the set paths that you would expect to take. It is. Can I say that it feels? No, I can't say that it's like you're an acid a little bit, right? I probably shouldn't say that because I'm not promoting anything. But it looks very unique. I mean, I lack words for this one. Now, the themes in this game are about ecology, AI, and post-human mythology. That's what the devs told us. Now, I know that when people hear AI, people are very wary right now, and, well, rightly so. But the developers said, especially they're coming from the background that they do, that no AI was used to create art, and everything done is done by the artists who are working on this game. So do not be afraid. No AI gen stuff. And Etre is coming sometime in the future. It doesn't have a release date yet. But if you're interested, I'm pretty sure you can wishlist it now on Steam. And I am pretty sure as well that what we're about to get next is another Indie Award contender. And this should be pretty cool, interesting, looking good at the same time. I mean, let's see. Indie Award logo up top. AK is getting excited, which totally means that it's another game, and I can tell you, it's a game called Hano, A Magical Tale.
Hi, find your next game audience. I am Pedro. I am creative director at One Way 11, a small Portuguese studio based in Madeira Island. Hano is the only action-adventure game where your companion is a baby elephant, and he is inspired by a true story. In 1514, a real elephant named Hano was sent from India to the Pope in Rome. We took that forgotten piece of history and turned it into a magical tale about a boy and an elephant who become family. We want you to feel what it means to raise something, to protect it, and to be protected right back. A real adventure with weights and stakes, where the bond you build with Hano is the entire heart of the game. Watch Hano himself, the way he moves, the way he trusts you, the way he fights at your side. If you feel something in those very first few seconds, that little baby elephant will stay with you forever.
Hano, A Magical Tale. As you've heard, it's a game that is inspired by real life history. Apparently, the real life history is not cozy and cute because, well, find out. It's a homework for you. But yeah, it reminds me a little bit of Kenna, but with an elephant, so that's cool. And now we will be moving forward, I believe. And now I will be very honest with you. There are games there exist games that I openly admit I'm too stupid to play. And the series that does that to me, that I can admit that, is Total War. Now, I'm sure you've heard that there's Total War Warhammer 40k coming, and we actually have a premiere of new footage from that. And I will remove myself from here, but I will keep talking because we have amazing GameStar people talking on stage about this. And we have cool stuff coming in the game. I mean, one of the coolest thing about Total War Warhammer 40k for me is the fact that we are moving in a very different direction in terms of combat that we'll be having. Because yes, you do have Space Marines, you do have orcs in this game, but the type of gameplay that you will have with your armies, which is basically very ranged-oriented combat, this is something else for the series. At least as far as I remember all the games that were coming out within that Total War concept by Creative Assembly. So firefights that are long-distance firefights without cavalry, without spearmen, people with shields all over. This is something different, and they wanted to highlight the very unique approach that this requires. So, for example, if you have all the mechs, all the can I say mechs? I'm sorry if I said something wrong about Warhammer 40k. Maybe they don't have mechs. Maybe they have something else. Correct me in the chat if I say something stupid. And the environment actually reacts to your potential destruction that might be happening, because you are using huge firepower. It's no longer the wooden arrows with pointy like ends. It's no longer something that doesn't influence the environment. Something doesn't influence the environment, and it's a huge freaking battle that's happening. So yeah, I see someone asking whether this is Owlcat 2. No, this is not Owlcat. Creative Assembly is responsible for this one. Owlcat is doing Warhammer 40k games, but they're doing RPGs. So they have, I believe, Rogue Trader. I mean, they had Rogue Trader. They have Dark Heresy coming. But yeah, this is the strategy series. So you have two things, which is the political map, the big things, and you have huge battles, which I gotta say look damn impressive. And I would love to be able to play these kinds of games, but like I said, I'm not afraid to admit that I'm too stupid to play those, to be good at it. I will come back for a second to Chronicles Medieval, which is a game that started the show, and we were kind of a little bit of late to this one because of our own technical issues. During the pre-briefing, I asked the devs, "Hey, can you auto-resolve battles? I mean, I'm not good at the tactical part," and they said, "Yes, you can." So I could play this game. And as we've seen here, you can auto-resolve battles here as well. So maybe I should give it a try. I don't know. Although then I'm missing like half of the game and half of the fun that it gives, right? Warhammer 40k is made by Riot Games. I'm not sure it is. That would be news for me. Would that be cool news? I don't know. But yeah, Warhammer 40k is exciting. I mean, it looks amazing. I like how the indeed environment is so much different. It's this destroyed post-apo. You have drop pods coming with reinforcements. Apparently, this is the big thing about Total War, that you have constant influx on the reinforcements of reserve forces that you will be forcing on the battlefield, and you will decimate your enemy. You'll be shooting your way through things. You'll be shouting the thing that orcs shout in this universe. I know what it is, but I'm just not going to do the shout. Yeah. And I promise I will not give you homework. Starlight. I got ahead of myself a little bit. So yeah, Total War Warhammer 40k not yet have a release date, but as you can see on stage, our people are super excited about it. So keep watching, keep getting news. But for now, we got another premiere, and what I can say, Iron Gate Studio, is this Valheim? It is. By the way, I know I'm not supposed to be talking during the trailers, but just wanted to note that this is a trailer from Brick Animation, and as always, Valheim is bringing a new trailer to showcase the new stuff that is coming, and I'll talk about more of what's happening soon. Kratos, is this you? It is Valheim indeed. Yes, my dear people, Valheim 1.0 is actually coming very, very soon. The game is heading out of early access on September 9th, and the trailer from Brick Animations that you've just seen is a launch trailer for that 1.0 update. The update brings the new biome, which is the Deep North, and it brings obviously an epilogue to the journey that was Valheim. And we do get snowy areas, we do get frozen fields, we have vast abandoned villages that we will be exploring, which is cool again. I played Valheim a long time ago when it launched in 2021 in early access, so I think for me this will be a good moment to actually come back and to see, because the game was amazing, and I just wanted to wait for the conclusion of that journey. And what do we have here, for example? You have some gameplay also from the 1.0. We have new things like Gamel trolls, I believe they're called, which are the giants that serve as guardians of the north. We have these kinds of dungeons that are they have like deep winding tunnels, and they're home to malicious devils called the Ella Kengar, I believe, and I might be mispronouncing that. I'm sorry. And the cool thing, an animal thing, which is a theme, I think, both for opening night live yesterday and for today, which is animals. You can actually tame a wild moose, and you can use it as a mount. That is cool. What else can I tell you? I can tell you probably a bit much about this, and I need to be careful. Release on all platforms with full crossplay is happening with 1.0, which is good. And there's a new enemy here, and I think this is the one. It's called the Jotun. It's part of this Deep North dungeon that you're seeing. And yeah, they're not going to be... Okay, it looked easy. Does it look easy? I think they probably just have a very good build for that. Very overpowered characters. It's the epilogue though. It's the end, and we gotta get some challenge here. I gotta say, this looks amazing. But the guy in the trailer, in the launch trailer, he did look like Kratos because of that blood smeared on his face, which was unexpected. Do you think it's an homage or it's an accidental thingy? But, my dear friends in the chat, waiting for the Expanse, can I say that it's coming next? Do you believe me if I say that it's coming next? Let's find out in a little while. But yeah, if you want to play Valheim, you're getting the 1.0 version very soon, which is on September 9th. I think, because my fiance is watching this live stream, I think if I say it now on stream, I already did, that we'll play it, then I will be forced to play it. But I actually want to play it. I mean, I want to see the Deep North. I'm not sure I'll be able to combat all the enemies, but I remember the previous approach to or attempt at playing Valheim ended with a huge troll decimating us and our house actually crumbling under its own weight because we didn't really think the foundations for the house through. So we'll see how it goes here. Yeah. They're still talking and I'm running out of things to say. And as someone mentioned before, working as a translator is hard, and working as a person who is not translating and just has a bunch of notes in front of them is an even tougher thing. But yeah, see, the Jotun fans, they're resting, and as you can see, I'm pulling it out of my hat, and it is still a hat.
Es lohnt sich wirklich jetzt noch mal ganz am Anfang anzufangen. Also auch wenn ihr die letzten Jahre, so wie ich das, mehrere hundert Stunden reingesteckt habt, dann lohnt es sich noch mal von Anfang an anzufangen.
Hey, Picky, please do not show the what I can say. Okay, I'm missing, I'm lacking words. But please do not tell that FYNG is not going to show this. We are coming with the Expanse pretty soon. And yes, we are. Oh my god, I love the outfit, the Viking outfit. We actually had her during the pre-show, teasing a little bit of an appearance of Valheim here. So then we had a knight and a squire. Then we had all the amazing things, all the world premieres, all the amazing new gameplay deep dives, and you know what also is getting a gameplay deep dive right now? Guess. I think it's the Expanse.
What's happening?
To the service tunnel, now!
Choose me, Protogen soldiers again! Say goodbye!
Definitely trouble.
Hell yeah. We are getting the Expanse Osiris Reborn. It's here. What you've been waiting for in the chat, it's happening. But we are not done. We do have a guest to join us, and I think I will just leave you to it.
Nice to meet you. Thank you
Hello.
for being here.
Thank you. Thank you
Would
for
you
having me.
like to introduce yourself?
So my name is Leonid Trostargoyev. I'm a game design director in Owlcat Games working on the Expanse.
And we're going to talk about it. I have
Sure.
questions. We do have a bit of gameplay that we can show.
Yeah.
And we're going to watch a completely new mission on Ganymede. Is that right? And
That's true.
what's going on there?
So this mission takes place basically 10 to 12 hours into the game, and by that point we assemble a crew, and actually we need to infiltrate the secret facility of Protogen on Ganymede to grab some intel on they're doing on Eris, to use against them, to have a leverage and actually oppose those big corporations, because it's very big, very powerful, very evil, and we need something to have against them. And also there is some second objective. We need to wipe the data they looted from our base on the Pink Water, to get clean, to help them not so easily find an ideas.
So that sounds pretty straightforward. Is every mission like that, or do you have variations?
No, those missions, the one we showed before in the beta on Pink Water 4 and this one on Ganymede, there's a main story mission, like plot points, and between them you have the freedom to explore the solar system, to choose whether to contact Martian government, OPA, or some other factions. You have the freedom to recruit your team, to choose which companion to contact first, which not to contact at all. And so there is a lot of side content as well. So there is a freedom to explore the galaxy, but at some point we have a core story point, and the Ganymede is one of those core story points where you get all your team assembled, get prepared, and then assault the enemy.
I like those enemies. They're so glowy with the stuff on top. They're really cool.
Yeah.
So right now we're seeing combat scenes, and just in case people are not really that not that knowledgeable about the game, is it always combat, or can players choose not to fight, evade it?
Depends on the setting, depends on the situation. Sometimes you can talk yourself out of combat, but it's not a very frequent situation. So the game consists of different parts, and every mission is not only about the combat. There's a lot of talking sections, exploration sections. You can just wander around to find some extra loot and use the skill checks to talk with various peers. So it's a complete RPG. It's not like a linear, straightforward shooter. You have a lot of things to do there, except for combat as well.
Also, it's like, since it's a game like that, in missions it's never just us. It's always the whole team that's involved. So how do you do that? How do you involve everyone?
The team is very important part of the core concept of the game. So we assemble them, we recruit them, and we have our home on our ship where we gather with them and talk with them. And always there are a couple companions present with you as combat companions, but others are not just left behind on the ship doing nothing. They're watching what's going on over the feet and the costume, and they're giving their expertise, their advices, their assessment to the situation, and they are constantly involved in what's happening with you and your crew. And sometimes even they have specific roles and specific missions, like maybe hacker help support, or a second battle group with its own objectives. So all the companions are important and involved in all that's happening.
Okay, well, thank you very much for giving us all this cool gameplay, and also thank you very much for visiting us.
Thank you for having me.
I'm going to wish you a very good evening. And
So, my dear people, we have the Expanse Osiris Reborn. I know that the team is hard at work. I've heard some things. I'm not sure I can talk about it, but I will be testing it at Gamescom. And thank you, Owlcat Games, for being in the chat. We really appreciate you visiting us. And I hope you guys are satisfied with what you've seen. I know no release date yet is. We wish for a release date, but it'll come in due time. For now, we have another indie award called Roller Girl.
At the start of the game, your first car just broke down and you have to earn money to fix it. While you do odd jobs for your neighbors, you stumble upon your first crash and unravel a small town mystery. The music in Roller Girl transforms the world, allowing you to choose your own vibe. Upbeat music makes the game feel bright and exhilarating, while melancholic music slows everything down, turning familiar places rainy and introspective. The different moods reveal different interactions, discoveries, and perspectives, letting you control the journey. Grab your rollerblades, turn up the music, and explore as you find your vibe in Roller Girl.
3, 2, 1.
Okay, we have Roller Girl, which is a game where you basically choose your own vibe. And it's set in the 2000s. You change the playlist, and the world reacts. You collect music around town, and you gotta earn money to fix your car, apparently, by helping the neighbors. It gives me a little bit of a mixtape vibe, I guess. You know, connecting everything with music, but I think there is a bit of a different idea on how to execute it. But I know people had mixed feelings about mixtape, but I enjoyed the music. I enjoyed the theater of it all. So, people in the chat asking if Owlcat Games visiting us in chat are real. Yes, they were real. Lovely people at Owlcat Games did visit us, and huge shout out to them for having this done with us. And now we have another world premiere from Black Duke Games. It's Rise of the Merchants. And this is an interesting one. I mean, it's a curious case, I gotta admit, because this game that is called Rise of the Merchants that you've seen right now used to be called differently. Apparently, it used to be called Coins, Crowns, and Cabal. But there were some issues with getting the project out and successful. And since then, a new dev actually came to this game, and it was heavily redeveloped to make it something else. And if you tried to describe this game in some comparisons, for example, you would have to kind of join three games together: The Guild, Anno, and Frostpunk, which is, I imagine it's a pretty wild mix if you think about it. But it makes sense. You start with a very small settlement, and your task is to get to a very influential trading city. You build complex production chains, manufacture high-quality goods, and you dispatch caravans. And the thing is, the caravans can be raided potentially by bandits, and you need to make sure that the caravans are protected. So sometimes you got to figure out if it's worth the risk to actually send out the caravan and maybe make a little bit of profit, or just, you know, give up on the idea and well, not do that, because heavy losses potentially. There is a persistent online world in this, and you can build and develop your own city independently. And in case of, let's say, not enough things for player-driven economy. You have NPC merchants, but you gotta learn more later. And oh my God, is it CD Projekt Red logo?
Striving forward towards a solitary tower. Never chose to be a witcher. Fate chose for me.
Don't worry, guys, we have more than just a trailer for you today.
Once you're a witcher, you can't just step off the path. You're one for life. And there's never an ending that's not also a new beginning.
Touches us both. Be not afraid.
Didn't say I was afraid.
Come, soldier. Being of beasts. Delve into darkness and see the truth of Letton's beauty.
Garden demands blood, so we'll give it blood.
Hell yeah. I mean, when I've seen that trailer yesterday at ONL, I was pretty excited. And there is more to come today. I mean, it's not like we will show you a bunch of gameplay footage, or will we show you a little bit of gameplay footage today? I don't know. It is possible. But what we definitely are doing is having a developer from CD Projekt Red joining us on stage in just a minute. And since they will be talking in German, and I don't necessarily have all the skills and information to be able to tell you, oh, hi, it's Miles Tost. Is he speaking?
Miles? Miles? Miles?
No, I don't think Miles is joining us today. Although he was hosting the presentation that I attended this morning, so I will be giving you all the information that I have after after seeing that presentation, and we still will have a dev joining us on stage. It is super interesting to see The Witcher come back after, what is it, 11 years right now, right? Or maybe, let's say, 10 years since the last expansion came out, because Blood and Wine was in 2016. And now CD Projekt Red is coming up with this expansion that is co-produced with Fool's Theory. So people who are, well, a lot of people in that studio actually worked at CD Projekt Red before, and they worked on The Witcher. So it's a very nice cooperation. Today I had a chance to have an interview with Kuba Rokosz, which is the CEO of Fool's Theory, and one of the developers from CD Projekt Red, Despina, and they, let's say, I have a half an hour of footage of them telling very interesting to us interesting things to us, and there will be an interview coming with them on this channel, which is the Find Your Next Game channel on YouTube, within the next few days, hopefully. The thing is, we are not done with this, and tomorrow I'm recording an interview with Doug Cockle and with John Schwab. I hope I remember that correctly, which is Geralt and Dandelion from the game. So there will be this coming, don't worry. But what you can see right here, and I can actually give you a little bit of a description of a demo, is the land of Letten. The land of Letten is actually the place where Dandelion comes from. For those of you who don't know, Dandelion is not just a bard who loves women and singing and drinking and having fun. Dandelion is actually called Julian Alfred Pancratz de Lettenhove. He's the Viscount of Lettenhove. And he comes from a noble family. So in this expansion, we are going to Letten, the place where not Geralt's, Dandelion's family, for some reason, we don't know yet why, is in mourning. And I assume it's probably some kind of funeral, and Dandelion, who is let's say, a little bit disconnected from his wealthy family, has to return home for that. As you can see, Geralt here is in a very, well, unusual outfit. This outfit is the traditional Beltane outfit, so all the images that you've seen from CDPR's booth, from Gamescom, and that art style, that art of Beltane that they shared on socials, it's all connected to each other. And Geralt is wearing that outfit. I think that he has a new haircut here, right? So there's that. And in this demo, Geralt is asked to come to Lettenhove dining hall for a family meal in the morning. The problem is, Dandelion is missing, because what else would Dandelion be doing? He is missing. So we find his loot. Actually, someone has his loot, which is super extremely weird, because Dandelion would never just give up on his loot. And we go to that hall. There's a whole big scene here that I don't think we can show you here. I think it's not part of the B-roll, in which Geralt meets Dandelion's grandma, as grandma, I think, or aunt. I mean, an elderly woman of the family, as well as we meet Lilla, the woman you see here riding on a horse in the front. She is the cousin of Dandelion, but she's like a very energetic spirit, and she's very similar to Dandelion in many, many ways, at least from the short experience we had with her. Here they go to what is called Garden of Thorns, which is a little bit fabled place in the area that is apparently connected to the family of the Lettenhove, and there's a pretty mysterious thing about it that nobody really believes it, and it's connected with Humbert the Lettenhove, which is one of the ancestors of Dandelion's family. And what they do here is they want to obviously investigate the disappearance of Dandelion, and Geralt had this a weird dream connected with the garden full of thorns and Dandelion shouting to him from the bottom of the well. So they obviously go explore together, because Lilla believes that something might have happened to Dandelion, and she trusts that Geralt can help find what's up. And this is a really cool shot for me here, not necessarily the conversation that they're having, but when you look at what you've seen previously and just look at the lake with the mist over it, really nice sun, and you look at here, these places are apparently not that far from each other. So this Garden of Thorns, which is this mysterious place, is very it's a very unusual sight to have that close to this idyllic place that is Letten for most of the time. And what you have here is obviously Geralt trying to investigate and trying to find out what's happened, and find his way inside. And you have a new enemy here, and I actually have my notes from the demo here, and I think I wrote down the name of that enemy, which is not written down here. And can I find it? Can I find it real quick so that it's not very weird? and me. Thornbloom. Found it. So sorry for closing that loudly. Thornbloom is this kind of plant-like enemy that has spores that explode and they can hurt Geralt. But we see more than one enemy in this demo because we also have a Swarmian. A Swarmian, which is this kind of enemy here. This is undead-like enemy. But what he has, or it has, is a swarm of, I don't know, it's bees, hornets, something like that. And it is connected to all the bees that are part of the landscape and part of the industry in the area, because Letten, I think, is involved in ale or beer production, but they use honey for that. And now Swarmians actually have that. But how do you fight an enemy surrounded by, let's say, hornets or bees? Well, you have to have your tricks. You can use Igni, you can use Ard, but Geralt can use a chain, which is his new tool that we'll be getting as part of the expansion. I know there's a remaster coming in September, but there's also the new tool is coming with the expansion. And the tool is apparently there for multiple things that you can do with it. One thing is aiming at weak points of enemies, and you can target those weak points and deal increased damage. You can kind of drag the enemy closer to you and attack them this way. But at the same time, this is a crowd control tool that you can use if you're bored with your crossbow, if you feel like there's been enough done with that crossbow, shooting it underwater or getting harpies to come closer to get them on Skellige. Now you can actually use the chain. This will be usable in other parts of the game as well, because you like most of the enemies, at least in the game, not sure about all the enemies, can have weak points, but in any way you can use it for crowd control for all the enemies that are there. And yeah, it's cool. Like on this channel, on Find Your Next Game channel, a month and a half ago, I did a video on what I would love for Songs of the Past to do, not knowing anything. And the big part of that was, hey, it would be nice for Geralt to have a chain because he has it in a trailer for Witcher 1, and he uses it in the books. Witcher 4 is getting a chain, and Ciri will be using that. So why not give Geralt a chain in the expansion? And here we go, we have it. So it's amazing. I hope I gave you all the details about the demo that I could, but we're not done yet. This is not the end of our stream. Now, Lost Legions. Okay, we have Lost Legions, which is a game by Tarek Interactive. It's coming in early 2027, and it's a story-driven, open-world Roman survival game. I mean, describing games these days with the buzzwords to give you an idea of what it is getting difficult. Story-driven, open-world Roman survival game, but that's the fact. And we play in the aftermath of a battle of Teutoburg Forest. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. And you'll be building camps. You will have to free lost legionaries. You will need to defend against tribal raids. And you can play it solo or with up to 3 friends. And if that's your kind of thing, it's coming in the early 2027. And as you can see right now, AK is showing a trophy, I imagine, for Indie Award that you can vote for at GameStar's website. So if you're interested in voting between the 8 games that are being shown today for they're submitted for the Indie Award. We've seen 6 so far. There's 2 more coming actually. And yeah, you'll be able to partake in the voting, and you'll be able to decide who wins the amazing trophy for Indie Award. But what we'll be having now, and I just wanted to make sure that AK is actually mentioning this, is a game called Food Truck Empire. So let's have this one going.
My name is Eric, and I'm excited to show you Food Truck Empire, a high-intensity management game where you build your own food truck enterprise. Compose your dishes, automate the production, customize your trucks, and research new tech, all to serve even the pickiest customers. In the game, you start off with a single food truck and a dream to become the greatest caterer that has ever been. You do this step by step, fighting to take control over a different city each level. As you progress, you can expand your fleet of food trucks and fit each of them with recipes ranging from a simple burger to a gourmet overpriced smoked seafood and grilled halloumi bowl. You'll have to come up with recipes even more imaginative than that, as you try to fit the tastes of all sorts of wildly varying demographics. But beware, you're not alone in your quest for power, as each city has its own rival food truck company trying to take over. Will you be able to win over the citizens' hearts, or should I say stomachs, before your opponent does? Step up to the challenge in Food Truck Empire. Wishlist now.
Wishlist now, as the developer said. Food Truck Empire is obviously an economic strategy game. What you can be managing in this kind of game? Is it a food truck? Probably it is. So you create your own dishes, automate their production, customize the trucks, you research new tech, and I mean, shout out to Foxy Dumplings. It's a game from Poland that's being made. It's not out yet, but there's a demo out, and you kind of have I would say, a food truck with dumplings or with pierogis, like we said in Poland. So yeah, cool game. Play it if you can. But we are not done yet, and we have, I think, 1, 2, 3 games to show you. One of this is actually called Alien Deathstorm, coming from Rebellion right now. I'm gonna remove myself from the screen. And this game is, well, coming from the creators of Sniper Elite, from creators of Zombie Army, Atomfall, Strange Brigade. So you've probably played some of their games sometime. And Alien Deathstorm is a, you have to explore a devastated off-world colony ravaged by a cataclysmic megastorm, and I imagine there might be some bloodthirsty aliens in the area. And it's not only about pure firepower that you can use to kill those. You need to have a kind of a good combination of you being cunning and then being very violent with your weapons. In a way, I would say it looks like it should be Aliens game, right? Like a proper xenomorph kind of thingy. But it is not, apparently. And it's not confusing at all with Alien Deathstorm in the name. But yeah, if you would like to see it in action, because it doesn't have a release date yet, you can follow it on Steam. You can see more of that, obviously, apart from this, the gameplay premiere that we're showing you right now. If you like Rebellion's previous work, I think you should be interested. As you can see, you have this kind of a scanner below that that shows you where the enemies might be coming from. You have all the creepy little ones jumping at your face. I think there's some big enemies here as well, and you'll see that in a second. But I don't know why this is not Alien game. Maybe it started as one, but it didn't happen like this. Although it feels more like there's more waves of enemies coming at you. Maybe not in like oh shit. Okay, sorry, I almost said the bad word. That was a big one. And they jump at you like head crabs do. Okay, let's go. And oh, I think we have more enemies incoming. So if you would like to check out more, if you would like to learn more about Alien Deathstorm, as I said, you can wishlist the game on Steam. You can follow all the info about the game out there. And then if you're not scared of these kinds of things, I would be, then you'll be able to play it. But I can't tell you the release date yet because they haven't announced it. And now, we do want to stay in a bit of a spooky kind of setting, but I think a bit different. So let's have Haunted Pause.
Hello, Find Your Next Game audience. We're Lazy Flock, a small indie studio from Lithuania, and we're developing Haunted Pause. What makes our game special is the combination of spooky adventure and the charm of playing as your own customized puppy. You can bark, dig, explore, solve puzzles, and work together with another player while discovering a mysterious world filled with unusual characters and cartoonish monsters. Our vision is to create a memorable co-op experience that feels exciting, mysterious, and fun to play with a friend, partner, or a family member. Cooperation is at the heart of the game, so many puzzles and important moments require both puppies to communicate and work together. We're very excited to be a part of Find Your Next Game Show. It's a great opportunity for us to
shout out Find Your Next Game.
New audience and share what our small team has been working on. This is Haunted Pause. Thank you very much for watching.
Amazing. Puppies are cool, and it's another animal game that we had today. So I think we have a theme for this show. But, ladies and gentlemen, this actually concludes our entries into Indie Award, and that was the 8th game. So as I said, you'll be able to vote on who you thought had the coolest indie game that should receive that award. But we have one more thing to show you in just a little bit. It's a game that was showcased yesterday at ONL. It had a cool gameplay trailer that was a big part of the show, I think. We actually had a chance to... Can I say this? I may not be able to say this yet, although I think I could. But there will be more coverage on this game coming pretty soon to GameStar, and I think more creators around the world will be able to share their impressions on this game soon. Please do not kill me, developers, if I shouldn't be saying that for a while yet. And I'm still not giving you the title because I wait for them to stop talking about Indie Awards, and so that I can actually divert your attention to this. What I can say, what can I say to kill time for this? It's coming in 2027. It's heavily inspired by one of the coolest, at least for me, RTS games of the early 2000s. That game in the early 2000s had a big license attached to it. This one has a big license attached to it. It was at ONL yesterday. And AK is still talking about in the award. This is a passion project for her, for sure. Okay, I think we're getting there. I think we're getting there. Maurice is getting excited over this one, and I know it because he attended the briefings for this one as well. We call it One More Thing because we sometimes mispronounce words, but it is One More Thing. And like I said, we had a trailer for this game yesterday at ONL, and it was pretty cool. But we can actually do a bigger deep dive into development, and we will have a dev on stage. But let's look at Game of Thrones War for Westeros.
Come on, men. Cannons raised. Try to defend yourself. Westeros. Stand with me! Is yours to decide. Game of Thrones. War for Westeros.
Let's go.
This was the very first gameplay glimpse of War for Westeros, but it won't be the last, because we have more actual gameplay to show you. And with us is the game director, Ryan, to explain to us and show to us what we are going to see here. So, let's have it.
Let's jump into it.
So, Ryan, we start with base building.
Yep.
What role does base building play in the game?
Yeah, so base building plays a really big role in the game in terms of setting up your initial economy, as well as your defenses in War for Westeros. In your base, you can build your economy buildings, you get your supply going, and as well as your production buildings, which is going to allow you to train up units, as well as your research buildings, which is going to allow you to upgrade those units and advance through your tech progression of the game.
Yeah, I got a very classic RTS feeling from that. You have
it is a classic RTS.
Three-level fortress progression and houses for population and stuff like that.
Yep.
So you feel right at home, and then you conquer districts, regions.
Territories. So the whole point is you build up your army, and once you're ready, you march out and start to claim territories across Westeros. In this, we're playing on the Neck map. Here we can see the gameplay playing there, where the Starks are marching out. They've just claimed a territory, and once you claim an outpost, you get control of that territory, and that allows you to build within it. Once you build within it, you get access to special resources on high-yield ground, as well as influence points, which give you access to your primary and secondary resource.
Yeah, and you have free building overall, but there are, like you said, special points where it's especially valuable to build resource buildings because they generate more money.
Yeah, so that allows you to essentially, as a guided form of progression, as you fight out and push to claim more territory, and also, it gives us some interesting things to play with when it comes to the single player.
Yeah, that system reminded me actually very much of Company Heroes at first. But you told me that your one main inspiration was the one that everyone was hoping for. It's Battle for Middle-earth.
Yeah, we borrow inspirations from a lot of RTSs, but Battle for Middle-earth is the spirit behind this game. A lot of the dev team and I are big fans of Battle for Middle-earth, and there never really has been an RTS game quite like it, and we're hoping we can bring that back to players through Game of Thrones.
And you do it also by lots of spectacle, which sounds superficial for an RTS, but I think it was part of the secret sauce for Battle for Middle-earth. We see it here, for example, riders that actually crash through infantry lines and don't just stop, draw their blades, and hack at them.
Yeah, I mean, visceral is sort of the word we always use when we talk about our combat. Armies colliding and having the physicality and the weight behind that clash really being represented through gameplay. And ultimately, leaning on rule of cool, rather than having these perfectly balanced encounters, actually just letting the cool thing you expect to happen play out and enjoy the show.
We just saw Wildfire. Can you give us a few examples of the coolest spectacle things the factions can do in this game, in the late game?
Yeah, so all factions have access to really strong late game powers. Obviously, when you think of the Targaryens, you're going to assume dragons, but the Lannisters get access to Wildfire. That allows them to blow up their enemies. They can recreate moments like Battle of the Blackwater. And then the Starks get access to the Free Folk, so that gives them access to the giants and mammoths that you see the wildlings attack the wall with in the show.
And the Night King gets access to
zombies. And the Night King can raise the dead.
Yes, even heroes you teased in that.
Even if we haven't shown it in gameplay yet, but if the initial teaser is to be believed, that is exactly what you can do.
And speaking of heroes, we have one more reveal for you today. We have 2 new heroes that nobody else has seen or played yet. Let's go.
Together, lads! Fight me! I'll kill you all!
The girl is nobody.
No!
Valar Morghulis.
And there we have it. So Arya Stark can actually impersonate enemy heroes.
Yeah, you can't have Arya Stark without some face stealing. So
Nice.
Arya can take the face of heroes and actually their abilities alongside it.
Awesome. Ryan, thank you very much
Awesome, thanks
for
having
showing
me.
this on our stage.
Yep.
Good luck with the game. I'm very much looking forward to playing more of it.
Yep.
And thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Thanks, everyone.
Damit, liebe Leute.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are at the end of the show, actually. We have a roster of amazing games today. I gotta admit, it's been a special few months, not really weeks even. It's been a special few months to get this thing going. A huge shout out to GameStar and the team who was leading the charge in making this happen. Like I said before, it's the third year of us doing a FYNG show that's been happening not only at Gamescom, because we're at other events and we have the editions of FYNG show there. So it's pretty special to be here when we did this for the first time 2 years ago. And you know, if you like this kind of thing, if you like this editorial kind of approach where we basically select games that we feel are worth highlighting, not necessarily because they're the biggest or they're the coolest, but they're just interesting, that and we feel like it's worth showing it to players, because it's something unique, because it's something special, because it's something that's not been done in a long time, or sometimes maybe never. Then please keep following the Thing Show. If you liked this kind of thing, also please visit Find Your Next Game channel on YouTube. Apart from coverages like this, we do produce our own content about upcoming games, sometimes deep dives. We have lots of cool interviews. We had an amazing documentary about Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 development, and it's 2 hours long, so you gotta have a free evening to watch that. And the more will be happening. Whether I don't know if we will be doing the December edition like we did in previous years, but we will see if there's more to announce here. However, if you do speak at least a little bit of German, GameStar is live streaming from Gamescom Cologne for the next 4 days, if I'm counting that correctly. So throughout the whole Gamescom, there will be live streams from GameStar happening every day, starting in the morning to late evening hours. Obviously, there's GTA 6 content coming tomorrow, and yes, they will be live streaming that and commenting that. I will not be here, but I really appreciate everyone showing up to this stream, everyone talking in chat. Huge shout out to all the devs that's been graceful, graceful enough, and they decided to trust us with their showcases, with their deep dives, with their trailers, with their news announcement, basically their world premieres. We're bringing the games to you at our show, and it's amazing that this can actually happen. We hope to bring you more. Not only the heavy hitters, but small games as well. But we did have Final Fantasy VII, The Witcher today, The Expanse Osiris Reborn, news about Stronghold, about I don't know, about so many things today. So that was cool. So thank you everyone for joining. Just keep supporting the cool shows, keep watching the cool shows, and if you are in Gamescom, at Gamescom in Cologne, make sure to play all the amazing games that are available here. Just thank you to everyone, and I'm signing off for today. Thanks.